Good morning, and thank you for joining us for Wednesday's Daily Market Outlook, brought to you by 24 Option.
Canada's current account deficit on a seasonally adjusted basis edged up to $0.1 billion in the fourth quarter to $15.4 billion. The new core CPI measure, which excludes fresh foods and energy, slowed to 1.1% year to year from 1.3% for the first time since January 2015. On the week, silver futures slumped 67.6 cents or 4.45%. This downfall is expected to continue. The Industrial Product Price Index rose 0.5% in January, mainly as a result of higher prices for motorized and recreational vehicles. Pending home sales drive the pair lower due to a decrease to minus 2.5% from 0.9% previous. Eurozone consumer prices were lower in February than a year earlier, a setback for the European Central Bank in its lengthening struggle to prevent the currency bloc's slide into chronic deflation. Euro core CPI flash estimate was released with a positive 0.7% from 0.9% forecast, increasing pressure on the pair.
Thank you for watching Wednesday's Daily Market Outlook, brought to you by 24 Option.
Live from the world's financial centre in London, today's financial news brought to you by Trade24.
Welcome and good morning. Thank you for joining us for Monday's Daily Market Review.
The British exit consequences are supposed to dominate the headlines in the coming months and dictate the direction of both the euro and the pound. According to the ISM Manufacturing Index, growth can be clearly seen in May, but analysts extended warnings that growth in the industry is still tepid. The European Central Bank decided to keep its interest rates unchanged after March's slew, as prices continue to linger in negative territory. As investors try to hedge the risk spikes in the Brexit aftermath, the index continues to consolidate. According to analysts, earnings will prove a key for the index. Apple shares are projected to decrease as the Chinese media regulator sues Apple for screening a 1994 war film. According to the EIA's refinery and capacity report, US atmospheric crude distillation capacity has increased to 1.9%, reaching 18.3 mbpd. According to the most recent data, the Atlantic Gold Corp has entered into gold price hedging contracts for the production from the Moose River Consolidated project. The first day of the week is marked by several prominent releases such as Spanish unemployment change at 0300 GMT. UK construction PMI is expected to be released at 4:30 GMT, followed by NZIER business confidence at 1800 GMT. Australian retail sales and trade balance are projected to be released at 21:30 GMT. At 21:45 GMT, cakes and services PMI will be released.
Thank you for joining us for Monday's Market Outlook, brought to you by Trade24, investing worldwide.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us for Monday's Daily Market Outlook, brought to you by Binary.com.
Official forecasts suggest that the total natural gas consumption will average 76.6 billion cubic feet per day in 2016 as demand for coal generation in the industrial sector increases. According to analysts, the absence of fundamental structural reforms will continue discouraging Japan's growth. The global economy is far from a sustainable recovery as the Chinese economy continues to decelerate as challenges continue to mount in other areas. Analysts expect the British pound to depreciate against the US dollar as UK construction PMI is supposed to decrease. Aussie is projected to post some gains as retail sales are expected to increase, while the move might be dampened due to trade balance data. Analysts expect that the Japanese yen will appreciate against the Australian dollar as trade balance data is supposed to decrease further. Analysts warn of increased volatility during the release of the NZIER business confidence as no official projections are released.
That's all for Monday's Daily Market Outlook, brought to you by Binary.com. Sharp prices, smart trading.
Buenos días y gracias por acompañarnos en las perspectivas del mercado del lunes de la mano de Keystock.
Las predicciones oficiales sugieren que el consumo de gas natural total será en promedio 76.6 BCF por día en el 2016, conforme la demanda de generación de carbón en el sector industrial aumenta. De acuerdo a los analistas, la ausencia de reformas estructurales sustanciales continuará desalentando el crecimiento de Japón. La economía global está lejos de una recuperación sostenible conforme la economía china continúa desacelerándose con los retos que se amontonan en distintas áreas. Los analistas esperan que la libra británica se deprecie en relación al dólar conforme se espera que el PMI de construcción del Reino Unido disminuya. Se proyecta que el dólar australiano presente ganancias conforme se espera que las ventas minoristas aumenten, aunque el movimiento puede detenerse por los datos del balance comercial. Los analistas esperan que el yen japonés se aprecie en relación al dólar australiano conforme se supone que los datos del balance comercial disminuirán más. Los analistas advierten un aumento en la volatilidad durante la publicación de la confianza en los negocios NZIER, dado que no ha sido publicada ninguna proyección oficial.
Hasta entonces, asegúrate de acceder a keystock.com para cualquier necesidad comercial. Tu gerente de cuenta personal está listo para responder a todas tus preguntas.
Welcome and good morning. Thank you for joining us for Friday's Daily Market Review, brought to you by AlphaTrade.
Japan's Prime Minister decided to lower the sales tax increase from 8% to 10% to stimulate the growth seen in Q1. According to official forecasts by the EIA, natural gas inventories will be 4,161 BCF in October this year. According to professionals, the full economic impact of Brexit is still not clear, leaving the door open for high volatility till new agreements are ratified. The S&P 500 slowly recovers as market jitters over Brexit slowly disappear. Analysts expect further gains in the coming days as crude oil prices increase. Analysts expect that Spanish manufacturing PMI will provide limited upward support for the euro against the dollar. The yen is supposed to have limited support against the euro as EU unemployment data is expected to depreciate by 0.1%. Gold is expected to continue its bullish trend after PCE prices inched up by 0.2% in the last month.
Thank you for joining us for Friday's Market Outlook, brought to you by AlphaTrade.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us for Sunday's Daily Market Outlook, brought to you by
Any option, anyone can trade. The change in the price of goods and services purchased by consumers decreased to minus 0.2% from the previous 0.8%. The change in the price of goods and services purchased by consumers remained the same as the previous month's reading of 1.1%. The number of individuals who filed for unemployment insurance for the first time during the past week increased to 257,000 from the previous reading of 248,000. The S&P 500 rose as strong results from Facebook and a flurry of deal-making helped offset the impact of the Bank of Japan's surprising decision to hold off from expanding monetary stimulus. Yen remained broadly supported after the Bank of Japan kept the deposit rate at minus 0.1% and its asset purchases at 80 trillion yen per year. The dollar pared losses after the release of mixed US economic reports, although the Federal Reserve's most recent policy decision continued to weigh. US Department of Labor said the number of individuals filing for initial jobless benefits in the week ending April 23rd decreased by 9,000 to a seasonally adjusted 257,000.
That's all for this week's Market Outlook. Join us again tomorrow morning for more in-depth analysis of the markets.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us for Tuesday's Daily Market Outlook, brought to you by AltaTrade.
The latest ICM poll on the referendum released on Wednesday showed that 43% of UK respondents were in favour of a Brexit. Statistics New Zealand reported that the trade surplus widened to 339 million New Zealand dollars in February from 13 million New Zealand dollars in January. The US Energy Information Administration said in its weekly report that natural gas storage in the US rose by 15 billion cubic feet last week. The greenback remained supported after Philadelphia Fed President Patrick Harker said that the US central bank should raise interest rates as early as next month if the US economy continues to improve. US retailers and manufacturers are hurting. Companies have cut back on investment as profits fall. The US likely added 210,000 jobs in March, according to analysts surveyed by MarketWatch. Oil futures settled lower on Thursday as a massive build in US crude inventories helped prices tally their first weekly loss in 6 weeks.
That's all for Tuesday's Daily Market Outlook. From all of us here at AltaTrade, we wish you a successful trading day.